On July 9th, 2022, a 14-year-old boy was stabbed in a subway station in New York City.
After a teenager was stabbed to death, a 15-year-old boy has been charged with killing another teen on a subway.
The death of Ethan Reyes had a significant impact on the drill music scene, propelling his brother's career and even inspiring a TikTok dance that mocks his passing to go viral. However, the story behind this tragic event reveals the harsh realities of the deadly gang wars occurring in Harlem and the Bronx.
Moment where you started getting like a lot of traction?
When my little brother died, when his death caught the attention of mad people.
David Reyes, known as Notti Osama, was born and raised in Harlem, New York, alongside his 5 siblings, 1 sister, and 4 brothers. 2 of these brothers played a pivotal role in shaping who he is today. Ethan, who later became known as Notti Osama, and their older brother J. Star Bala. To understand Notti Osama's upbringing, it's essential to recognize the influence that Notti had on him. Although they were just a year apart, the two were essentially inseparable, doing everything together. They moved frequently between various homes in Harlem during their childhood, but always considered Sugar Hill their true home, where they would eventually make a name for themselves. Their mother worked in real estate to provide for her children, while their father was absent. They did have a stepdad who attempted to fill that role. Despite these challenges, Dee and Notti always had each other, united by a shared passion for rapping. However, long before they ever entered a recording booth, they were already grappling with the trauma of growing up in a tough environment.
Oh, punch and push. Me and the bro is bugging. Niggas is bugging when you was younger.
By the time Dee and Notti reached their early teens, they had already immersed themselves in street life at ages 12 and 13, engaging in activities like smoking weed and causing chaos while representing a gang known as OY. This gang was reportedly founded by a man named Country Kane, who was rumored to be a prolific drug dealer with connections to many Harlem rappers and the creator of the slogan, "Sugar Hill, get the money," which is still heard today. Unfortunately, Country Kane did not live to witness the evolution of Sugar Hill and its involvement in the drill scene. In 2018, on a Sunday morning around 2 a.m., he was shot in the head while eating at a chicken spot. Authorities report that this murder remains unsolved, although it's possible that the streets have already dealt with it. This is just one of many deaths fueling ongoing beefs in Harlem and the Bronx today, creating an endless cycle of retaliation and hatred. Dee and Notti grew up in this environment and, like many others, became desensitized to the consequences of such a lifestyle until they faced it themselves. Music quickly became their form of therapy. Dee, Notti, and J Star began rapping in a homemade studio at their grandmother's house.
When I first tried music, I was 12. Yeah, I was there 12.
Eventually, J Star got his own place, so they upgraded their equipment and started recording there. J Star was the first one to start rapping and releasing music in 2020, but he wasn't breaking through on anything major. This was inspiring for Dee and Notti, though, as they were watching their older brother and learning the game. It's also important to mention that around this time, 2 other names started popping up: Edot Baby and Sugar Hill D. Edot Baby was already making a name for himself online, being young and pulling in a substantial amount of views. Edot Baby was paving the way for the younger generation and already had some clout. Seeing his success made them want to hop in the booth as well, and he showed them love by featuring them in some of his music videos before they were known. This would later have a huge impact, but we'll get to that later. Shortly after, Notti started recording songs, and Dee followed suit. Together, they agreed to take this music seriously, and if they were going to do it, they were going to go all the way. They were ready to knock down anything in their path, but it wouldn't be easy.
Now I wanna ride with y'all all gonna go out. All just gonna go out.
When Notti and Dee hopped in the studio, they made it clear from the start that they wanted smoke with everybody. Although young, the two were talking like grown men on tracks, often mocking the death of their ops.
Get out their way. You or your homie get shot in your face.
In a song titled What You Want to Do, Notti took shots at K-Flock and his set Sev side with these lyrics. At the time, K-Flock was blowing up and was arguably the biggest rapper coming out of the Bronx, but that didn't stop the 14-year-old from dissing him. Later on their song Dead Ops, they said he can get shot if he hops like a bunny, a diss to the W's. If you don't know who the YGs are, you might be aware of their most popular rapper, D-Thang. Needless to say, Didi, Notti, and D-Dot were all on the come-up together, even referring to themselves as the three young demons of Sugar Hill.
Yo, we still the three demons. I don't give a fuck. Still the three demons. Notti with us. Still with us. Three demons still.
Their views were already hitting in the 100K range, and the shock factor of how young and wild they were caught people's attention.
Video 100K, 3 days. Like, what's next?
Millions. Real shit. Mills. Next is Mills.
If beefing with two of the Bronx's most notable rappers, K-Flock and D-Thang, wasn't enough, they also had issues with a group known as 41. 41 isn't a gang, but rather a group of rappers. The story goes like this. 41 ended up linking up with a guy known as Blockwork. Blockwork was an OY member like DD and Notti. The problem was he was allegedly labeled as a snitch for ratting on his friends, and they didn't like that he was still hanging around him. This led to Notti and DD recording a song titled 41K, addressing the situation and insulting 41 for the link-up. However, they didn't release it right away. On the same song, he mentioned a clear insult to an OG's affiliate named Smelly and a YG's member Raw G's. Smelly was just 17 years old when he was killed over a dispute about a bike, unfortunately being stabbed 14 times in his chest and dying. The other person mentioned was Raw G's, who had a similar story. While getting into an Uber to go to a studio session, he was killed at a red light when two kids on scooters rolled up and shot him in the back seat, killing him instantly. As I mentioned, the song was recorded but hadn't been released yet. Unfortunately, Notti Osama would share a similar fate to the very people he mocked.
Officers from Transit District 3 responded to a 911 call for a fight. Officers encountered a 14-year-old male bleeding from his stomach.
On July 11th, 2022, Notti and DD were out in Harlem. At some point, DD told Notti he wanted to go back to the block, but Notti insisted on staying out. Around 3 p.m., Notti was walking near the 137th Street College Station subway entrance when he spotted Kelvin Martinez, also known as rapper K-Dot, a known op to Notti. Allegedly, Notti was the aggressor in this situation and approached K-Dot with a broomstick. The two began to fight, and it spilled into the subway station. Notti cornered K-Dot and beat him with the broomstick, but at some point, K-Dot pulled out a knife and stabbed Notti in the stomach. Feeling the effects of adrenaline, Notti threw K-Dot onto the train tracks before attempting to run for the exit. After losing too much blood, he collapsed at the scene. He was transported to Mount Sinai Hospital and treated for stab wounds, but he wouldn't make it. He was just 14 years old. K-Dot would be apprehended just hours later after also being treated for wounds to his back and hip. The weapons used in the altercation were seized by law enforcement and used as evidence, and K-Dot was charged with murder. The death of Notti made a huge impact on the entire Sugar Hill community, especially for his brothers DD and J-Star. After hearing the news of their brother's death, DD stated he didn't even want to rap anymore, but because he knew how much it meant to Notti, he had to keep going and keep his brother's name alive.
You know, ever since his passing, you just stopped kind of caring about like being a rapper, like being famous.
Like, it's not like that I don't care about it. Gotta do it. I mean, I gotta do it for bro, but it's just that it don't faze me. Like, money, the fame, all of this shit don't faze me. It don't feel like it's how it's supposed to feel, gangsta. Like, I'm supposed to feel good about it. I ain't supposed to be with bro. It's not with bro, so I don't feel good about it.
Now, everything had a whole new meaning for DD, marking the beginning of their new slogan, Everything for Notti. While Sugar Hill mourned his passing, his ops wasted no time in disrespecting him. Surprisingly, K-Dot, who took Notti's life, was not one of those people. He even tried to pay his respects in a video by stating he doesn't want to be known for Notti's death.
I'll make one thing known. I don't got it this baby bro to get to get fame. I don't wanna be known to do that. You are that corny to me. I'm not even gonna do.
On the other hand, the group named 41, with whom they had problems, went as far as releasing a song titled Naughty Bop. This not only disrespected his death, but also included its own dance with the same name. The Naughty Bop went viral, gaining millions of plays and becoming a dance trend on TikTok, often without people knowing the meaning behind it. Average Joes were online doing a dance that imitated Naughty being stabbed in the stomach with zero awareness of the disrespect. Of course, Dougie B and Sevside DOA joined in on the trend too. All this attention around Naughty's death would spike his reputation. Like with other rappers, when you pass, now everyone wants to check out your music. His name alongside DD would start to go viral, and DD talked about how this made him feel guilty. They were already on the path to becoming stars, but with his brother's death, it sped that process up by 10 times a blessing and a curse.
Really just cursed me, gave me a gift at the same time, but
Not only that, he now lives with the guilt that maybe if he hadn't left that day, his brother might still be around. With the spotlight now on him, DD released 2 songs in tribute to his brother, and both of them gained millions of views, just like they had set out to do, but at what cost? Edot would also see a massive spike in success around the same time, and together with DD, they would keep releasing music as their popularity increased daily. Keep in mind, this is all within 6 months of even starting their rap careers. But even after losing his brother to the violence, DD is not exactly a victim himself, and he continued to mock his ops' deaths as well. After one named Matty G's supposedly passed away from an overdose, D-Dot and DD were on Instagram Live with 5,000 people watching, dancing and celebrating his death like it was a birthday party.
He all in my sleeve, that.
All of this just to later find out that Matty G's had actually trolled them and was in fact alive and well. At this point, everybody was moving crazy. Despite the money and fame that was being earned, in reality, none of them were safe in their own city. But things only kept getting worse. If losing his brother wasn't enough, just months later, tragedy would strike again when his good friend Edot Baby also passed away. Remember, Edot was the first young kid to put on for the drill movement, and he was the first one to give these guys part of his own spotlight before they had any clout. In addition, he stood by DD and supported him after Notti's death, so this especially hurt him. The details behind Edot Baby's passing are still unclear. It's said he took his own life because of the weight he was holding onto, but many people don't believe that.
Because I was with bro a couple days before that. My means is lit. Why would he want the op smoking on him, bro? My son is really a lit. He the first little in drill period from Harlem to the Bronx to be lit. He the first to get a deal, get 40,000. My son did not do that, bro.
Adding more confusion, Edot's niece later came out saying his girlfriend may have stolen his chain, money, and gun, just adding more suspicion to what actually might have happened. Regardless, Notti Osama was mourning the death of 2 people close to him while still trying to balance out all the fame. Dropping track after track, DD inevitably gained the attention of a few record labels who were now calling and offering bags of money for his signature. This is all without dropping a full-length project. Since then, he's moved his mom into a new home where his family can hopefully escape the violence. In this interview from a few, DD spoke about wanting to work with Lil Durk and Lil Zay Osama.
The GOATs, I personally think is GOATs in this rapping shit. Durk, Lil Zay Osama.
Trolling his fans in another video saying he already had a song with Durk coming soon.
But just know, DD and Durkio coming real soon.
Was later revealed to be a joke. Just months later, both Durk and Lil Zay Osama would bring DD and D-Dot out at their show. Although it's not a feature, it's still crazy to see how far these guys have come in less than a year on the music scene. Now he's selling out his own shows, modeling for Drake's clothing brand, and working with mainstream artists. He plans on dropping his first mixtape. After the fame and money, there was a brief moment that DD and D-Dot had a small falling out after Rolling Loud posted this image on Instagram showing that DD would be performing at their show in LA. D-Dot simply replied with some laughing emojis. Fans speculated D-Dot was upset that DD would accept a show without helping him get on the list as well, which is understandable since the two have been together since the start of this journey. D-Dot addressed this by posting a message stating it's between him and his brother. But shortly after, DD posted a video that said otherwise. In the end, the misunderstanding was quickly resolved, and they have since made it clear that they're going to take this to the top together.
D-Dot my brother. Who telling me what? D-Dot my brother.
Now that they're both in positions to win, we can hope that they're able to stay out of trouble and focus on making money for everyone around them. From the streets of Sugar Hill to the big stage, they really did everything they said they were going to do for Notti.